Hello YouTubers, my name is X Factor and the summer patch has finally hit. There's a ton of changes in the game, some tweaks, and of course this, the Zavod Graveyard Shift night map that's available for free for everybody that owns Battlefield 4. Now remember, if you're on PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4, in Europe you won't have this available till September 8th. But there's been a lot of changes. We're going to cover some of the more important ones as we're playing some Graveyard Shift, and the lighting is absolutely awesome, but be careful, there are some still really dark, sketchy spots if you don't have an Iron RV or a Fleur, but it's not really necessary. I'm going to show that. So two of the things that they've done for the Graveyard Shift map is they've introduced fog in certain areas. Why is that? Simply to break the long lines of sight. And the second thing, if you're playing normal mode, they've reduced 3D spotting to 200 meters or less, so no longer can you spot somebody across the map in deployment and look to 3D snipe them. One hang-up you might have before you actually get to play this map is a hang-up I had. I wasn't able to install it, but thanks to the kick-ass community, you guys gave me the link to the Origin store to basically add this to your cart for free, and then it started the download. I'll give you guys a link in the description down below. The first thing I want to talk about is some of the network changes. Something that bugged me a lot is dusting on fast-moving vehicles, sometimes stationary vehicles. If your tank shell connects with a helicopter or jet or RPG straw small on your screen, big cloud of dust kicks up, the jet helicopter escapes unharmed. Well, they've changed the frame history time variable to 1 to help prevent dusting on fast-moving vehicles, and they've also made some other network ticks that might help with packet loss, and of course rubber banding on the client and the server side, which is all very helpful. Console players are going to have a reason to rejoice simply because there's now a sensitivity slider for your main turrets, whether it's a tank or LAV. You can now increase the speed of your turret up to the hard limitations set by DICE, and if you're a jet pilot on any platform, speed control is back, baby. The magic number of 313 is what will help guide you to victory in these dogfights again. The very controversial MAA has received some tweaks, and the developers stated they're looking to continue to tweak this thing in CT along with other vehicles over the next couple of weeks. They've adjusted overheat ratios to be more balanced between 20 and 30 millimeters. The 20 millimeter has better range and it's easier to use thanks to faster bullets. The 30 millimeter has more consistent damage thanks to lower speed. The question is, can you still snipe infantry with the 30 millimeters across the map in 5 bullets, or is there actually damage drop off or more spread? The next thing is lock-on missiles have been changed yet again. Countermeasures are more effective and consistent, and one of the things that they did was turn rates were reduced to stop missiles from doing 180. So if you did ECM, more than likely that missile's not going to hover around your helicopter flying in circles until it's over and still pop you. One of the most rage-inducing things that's been around in the Battlefield franchise for a very long time was a fake reload bug. You're in a gunfight, you're down to 8 or so bullets, you decide to put in a fresh mag. On your screen it says 30 or 31 or whatever your gun's supposed to carry. You go to shoot a couple bullets and all of a sudden you're out. The reload didn't register. Well, after a couple super late nights of work, Julian over at DICE LA finally fixed this issue. So can we have a moment of silence for something that's plagued the Battlefield franchise for countless years, resulting in countless deaths on your part? Thank you, Julian. Seriously, the shit was annoying. The next annoying thing to finally get tweaked is flashbangs. They've reverted back to their old ways with a couple different changes. You can actually look off flashbangs and step beyond flashbangs, again giving you minimal to no effect. And then the effective angle is now 145 degrees. No longer will it land behind you and give you the full flash, or beyond a wall and flash you. They've also reduced the time on friendlies to 0.6 seconds instead of 5 or 6 seconds. Another big change is it won't blind dead people. Let's say you spawn back in your deployment to catch a vehicle, there's no enemies around you, and you've got white screen for 5 to 6 seconds. They've also reduced the number of default flashbangs from 3 to 2. They'll also act the same way in dark and light environments. And another big one, tank drivers. You can't get flashed anymore, or LAV pilots. But if you're in a Jeep or ATV or hovercraft or something that is open seat, you can get flashed. And of course, dropping them from tall buildings, the time to go live is 1.5 seconds, so you can't drop from tall buildings at enemies below. The TV missile actually received some love, and part of this is to help with the dusting issue. They increased the blast radius from 1.5 meters to 3 meters, and it actually helps with soldier damage, which was increased a little bit. Now you don't have to just roadkill the soldier. You can actually hit next to their feet and kill them as long as you don't have the flak field upgrade or a wall behind them. And lastly, they've improved the responsiveness and steering slightly closer to the old way that it performed. Lastly, there are a couple of weapon tweaks. The first thing is the straw received some range and top speed buffs. The tracers have been polished. They lowered the brightness, thickness, and length, and I believe it's 1 out of every 3 bullets. The AN-94 gets a bipod. M15 AT mines will actually blink on the night maps and other dark areas to help you see them. And then the headshot multiplier for revolvers, slugs, and the Desert Eagle down from 2.35 to 2.3. These prevents pump action slugs from being able to one-hit kill at infinite range and keeps the mare's leg a one-hit kill at ranges below 40 meters. So your Deagle revolver might not headshot as long as you're used to it being able to in the past. As always, there is more to the patch notes. I will link those down below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this Zavod Graveyard Shift gameplay without an Iron RV or floor. It's very doable, but again, there are some spots on the map that are just filthy dark that you want to either avoid or just be careful of. But if they start shooting at you, you're going to see a lot of muzzle flash and more than likely the tracers. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you guys soon.